Howdy, howdy, everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC, coming at you this Saturday morning. Hope everybody's weekend is off to an awesome start, wherever you are in the world. Glad you stopped in and visited with us for a while. I always appreciate that. Never can tell you guys that too much, that we appreciate your support over here. You could be doing a lot of other things, anything in the world other than watching this old ugly face on some camera talk about pocket knives, but we appreciate you, every one of you that do. So anyway, want to get into a quick what you toting. I think I have another cool video lined up for you this morning, a good comparison video. Again, it's going to be one like yesterday. If you saw yesterday's show, we kind of tackled one of the icons in the industry and got my thoughts on like a little head-to-head battle. Well, we're doing it again today, but before we get into it, we're going to do a quick what you toting. Holy Land pocket cross, left pocket. Today, I don't have a secondary blade on me at the moment. Normally here lately I have been doing some form of multi-tool, like a Swiss Army knife or what have you, but this morning I don't have a second one on, so in lieu of that, I'm going to show you something that has been on my person pretty much since I got it, definitely since college football season got over. If you guys ever watched my wrist in my video, I always had on my orange and green Go Canes bracelets. I am a unapologetic Miami Hurricane football supporter, football fan. Well, now that college football season is over, I am wearing these little ditties right here, and these are bracelets. Shout out to Georgia Adventure. He showed these in one of his videos, and made a comment if anybody was interested in these to reach out to him, and I thought they were just cool as creek water. Kind of show you what we got on mine here. Got a couple of acorns, deer head, right? Yep. Well, if I turn it. How about I turn it where y'all can read it? A couple of acorns. There is a deer head right here. My old initials and more of the same over here. I did put in a USA flag. That's right. Yep. Got a US flag on this one right before the end. But anyway, I got a couple of these. And I have pretty much had one of these on my wrist. If I can get it snapped on camera. Ever since college football season concluded, I have had one of these Georgia Adventure custom leather bracelets on, and yeah, that's part of my EDC gear. Just never have mentioned it. You guys may have seen it already in some of my videos because it's been on my wrist, but just wanted to give him a quick shout out on that. That's EDC. I carry it on my person every day, so definitely, in my opinion, qualifies as EDC gear. So that is really, coffee is still brewing. Something an old diet do this morning, just to have something to wet the whistle. But let's get into it. Yesterday, I came with a video on a buck 110 killer. I showed the Schrade Oldtimer 60T, and I kind of did a head-to-head comparison against the industry icon, the buck 110. Well, today I got another combatant for you to go up against buck. We're going to look at the Case Mako. And the Case Mako, these guys came out in the late 70s. I want to say 78, 79. Could have been late 70s. Let's just go there. And I personally believe that these were inspired and were a response got to do some kind of, corny thing for showing the best pocket knife on planet Earth, the Buck 112. I am going to try to stay subjective, folks, the best I can. You guys already know my views on this knife, but we're going to compare the two today. And I am going to do my best to be objective, call it down the middle, and just see how well. I think we already, there doesn't need to be any spoiler alert. If I'm sitting here, at the start of my video telling you this is the best knife, in my opinion, folks, on the planet, we already know how this is going to end. But we are going to give this knife its day in the sun and see how they compare. Is it a good comparison? Is it a good option? A solid option to this? Do I like them both? How close do how closely do I like them? Are they in the same ballpark? Let's get into it. This is part of the Shark series that Case did of single blade lockbacks. If you can see there, if I can get my lighting right, we have a nice Mako Shark. My light is kind of fooling with us there, but I promise you that says it's a shark there etched on there, and it says Mako. But this is the smallest of the shark fleet, if you will, by Case Knives, Case XX. Pretty well, and I strategically got kind of the traditional old school Buck 112 to go up against the Mako. We got brass bolsters. This is a laminate wood. This one probably also a laminate. It could be ebony. I believe it's a laminate wood. Buck does do, hardwood ebony on they did that for a while on their knives. Let's just call them wood. The top layers are a wood anyway, even if it's a laminate. The variant, that means it's layered, wood on top, and then you'll have some polyurethane, some resin layers, all impregnated through it. But let's just call them wood for sake of argument. We have brass and wood. We have brass and wood. We have stainless steel clip point blade. We have a stainless steel clip point blade. Okay, so main difference right off. Let me get this one kind of folded up for ease of showing. The main thing we're going to have off of Jump Street is this guy here has no pins whatsoever on its covers. And this guy here, the 112, has a total of 4. 3 body pins, 1, 2, 3 up top, and a locking pin for the lock bar, for the back lock, excuse me. So we have pinned construction and we have glued construction. What is my thought on that? We talked about it yesterday. The 60T had one pin. It had its back lock pin, and it had a lanyard hole here, a lanyard tube through it that kind of helped, also helps as, a securing point. But it had one pin and one lanyard tube versus, 4 pins on the Buck 110. Well, this one has no pins. This is complete, I'm sure, some form of epoxy. Calling it down the middle. Never had one bit of problem with it. Haven't heard a lot of people out there saying they've had, and I've had these and I followed this knife a bunch. If you're one of them that has had any kind of separating or had a cover come off, by all means, tell me your story down in the comments. I have not. So, gonna tell you this, whatever epoxy or whatever they're gluing these with, I got no problems with it. And I have, I have it thrashed on my, this is my only Case Mako OG. I got another one over here we'll get to, but I have not thrashed on this, so I have not hard pressed this like I have my 110s and 112s. But what I have used it, I've had no problems, and I've heard no bad feedback on them. So construction durability, if you like the pins and you feel that more secure, couldn't argue with you. You got pinned or riveted construction versus glue, but I will say the glue is pretty hardy. Blade steel, yesterday we talked about Schrade Plus, their house stainless steel. This is Case True Sharp stainless. They call it True Sharp. That's their house steel. On this guy here, I made sure I didn't go with any, S30V or any, higher end steel. This is Buck's house steel, 420 HC. There is, and a gentleman pointed out yesterday, a couple of good points I didn't make in yesterday's video about the Buck warranty, the forever warranty, and also the Boss heat treat that they do on their 420 HC. I personally believe it is a tried and true method that just gets the most out of 420 HC that can be got. Does it make 420 HC Magna Cut? No, it does not. It's not fairy dust, but it is a heat treating they have been at for years. They have it dialed into like a tack. It is a very good heat treatment they put on their 420 HC. They Rockwell it to 58 hardness. The Case stuff is about 55 to 56 Rockwell. This can be looked up. This ain't HT. This is a little softer. This is a little harder. If you like the Buck heat, the Boss heat treatment, if you give that some credence, I do myself. I do believe in it. I believe it is an excellent heat treat. This is a little harder, and in my opinion, probably a better heat treatment overall. Am I trashing Case True Sharp stainless steel? Not a bit. I got tons of it. I have Case pocket knives on top of Case pocket knives, and they're stainless steel. Love their carbon steel, love their CV steel. Their CV is my favorite blade steel, but that's neither here nor there. But am I trashing on their stainless steel? No, I'm not. It's a little softer, so which would make it a little easier to probably sharpen and bring back than this, but both of them are absolutely simple. 58 Rockwell is not super hard. 56 is not hard. These are easily sharpenable stainless steels. I prefer Buck. I just do. So I'm going to give blade steel a slight win to the 112. Going back to the handle construction, glued versus pins, I'm going to give it to Buck. I just like I like the confidence of those pins in there, those rivets. Again, had no problem out of this. I'm not saying that. This is coming down to opinion. If I had a flaw with either one of them, I would definitely, say it's a no-brainer. It ain't a no-brainer, but confidence inspiring. I like those pins. I like those rivets. Edge Buck again. What else? Ergonomics. Let's talk about the competitor here. Very good ergonomics. What would I give this for an ergonomic knife? Again, these are a little sharper. Like yesterday we talked about the 60T, more flats, not quite as much contour, but these edges are chamfered. They're round, they're not sharp. For a flat, more streamlined, flat knife, it's very comfortable. What would I give this on comfortability? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll be honest, an 8, 7.5, 8. Very comfortable. I have said it before, the knife fairies came to HT in his sleep, made a mole of my paw, and came out with the Buck 112. This, folks, ergonomically, for my hands, I wear a size extra large glove to put it into perspective. I'm not a small-handed guy, with small, medium mitts, and I'm not, Godzilla, King Kong mitts either. I'm about an extra large size hand in regular gloves. Folks, butter. Gravy and biscuits, butter. Oh my goodness, it melts in your hand. This, folks, ergonomically, this knife, and it's one of the reasons I say it's the best on planet Earth. It is just a dream to cut. You just want to cut stuff with this in your hand. Folks, this is a 12 out of 10. So this one ain't real close to me. This is good. I gave this an 8 out of 10. This is an ergonomic, does not hurt, isn't sharp. Do I think if I had to cut with this for an hour and I'm squeezing down pretty hard, would I get hot spots? I don't know. I don't feel like I would. I feel pretty good with that, but it is sharper. Like long, prolonged use. Could this get a little, achy in the hand? Maybe. That much chance. Not whole, zero, nada. You want to cut, you just, if you don't know, if you know, you know, but this is just the rounded, the contour, ergonomic perfection. That one, again, 8 out of 10. This didn't get bad marks. This is just industry leader in my opinion. So win again to the Buck 112. Again, components, brass, wood, weight. I'm doing it here, an uneducated, believe it or not, I don't have a scale. It's comparable, and this is just the HT scale here. This feels a skosh heavier. Do not quote me on that, and I should know. Matter of fact, hold tight. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yes, I know that was unprofessional. I wasn't prepared. Welcome to HT's EDC. We got the handy dandy scale. And we are going to tear this out. Zeros around the board. And we are going to measure this. First up, Buck 112. Both of them have an HT added thumb stud. Same manufacturer, so the same weight. Whatever this little thing weighs, it'll be even on both knives. 6.2 ounces on the 12. Hmm. 5.4 on this guy. Probably the thinness. We can put them up there. That's something good to show y'all. If I can hold them straight, you can see the 112 is about almost a whole bolster, at least 3/4 of a bolster thicker than the Mako. And 5.4 to 6.2, not quite The buck is about almost 0.8 of an ounce heavier. In hand, they kind of feel, I actually thought this one in hand, so that tells you the HT hand scale isn't very calibrated. This is almost, we'll just say we're rounding here, almost an ounce heavier. Take that as you will. Win, loss, what do I give? I carry them both in a sheath, so that's a wash to me. 5.4, 6.2, I'm going to carry them either one in a hip sheath, or I do have some slips that would fit either one of them. I'm not throwing them just down in the pocket or whatever. Both of them, yes, if you threw these in a pair of shorts or just loosely in a pair of jeans, in my opinion, would be pocket bricks. You would feel them, it would feel a little funky. I call that a wash. If you like a little lighter, go with this. If you like a little heft and the heft of another ounce, personal preference. We're calling that a draw. Both back locks, lock strength, lock up. There was the sound of that one. Both of them sound great. Been around a little long. I can't. I'm not looking for reasons to give this a win. I'm going to call it, they're both backlocks. Backlocks aren't rocket science. This egg did come first. I do believe, again, like this was a response to this. Has Buck been doing their backlocks a skosh longer? Yeah. Does that mean they're better? Not necessarily. This is locked up very well. Push. Some people may have just passed out. Confidence in the lock. I am confident in this lock. I'm definitely confident. I know what Buck does on their back locks, but nothing has told me this is inferior. So push on locks. I'm just being honest. So, I mean, we've talked about the locking. We've talked about components. We've talked about steel. Sliceability. I guess that's one other thing. We kind of have a 3/4 hollow grind clip point on this guy. And this guy a little higher. Kind of hold them up there together, if you could see what I mean. A little higher up on the 112, both hollow ground clip points. Another wash. I mean, pick a winner, HT. I mean, I kind of think this, like I said, was a, copied this. So, they nailed it. You know what I'm saying? This is a fairly thin, slicey, hollow grind. This is a thin, slicey, hollow grind. I'm going to call it a wash. I just am. Which one do you like better? Now, if I'm going to be totally honest, if I put my hand and I don't show you any of the rest of this knife, ergonomics does not come into effect, what have you. We are looking at blade for blade. I'm going to give you blade aesthetics, which probably means absolutely nothing, because when you get to the business end of the knife, to me it's about how does it perform, how does it cut. If I'm given an award for which one is a prettier, sexier blade, this has that nice long pull here, and I kind of like that longer sweeping clip point that the Mako does. The Buck has the cat's eye nail nick, and it's a little, more dubbed off in its clip point. Sexy blade award, which y'all are probably saying, who cares? If there is such a thing, I think this is a better looking clip point blade. So there you go, Mako. there's something for you. Love that long nail nick. I do think that's very attractive. I just think that's a very attractive clip point blade they put on them. So there's that. Final conclusions. Does the competitor take down the king? You already know the answer. No, it don't. There's a lot, and I don't have numbers, but I can promise you this knife here is in more pockets in the United States marketplace than these. I love these. Again, just like I was on the 60T. And to be honest with you, I find myself here lately, for what this is worth, picking up the 60T over my buck 110s. Is it because I'm flooded with 110? I'm still buying them. Just got this in a 110 the other day at a pawn shop. I still love them. I'll still buy them. I'll collect them to the day I die. Here lately, I've been on a trend that I have really been carrying and toting that 60T. I love toting this Case Mako. Not going to supplant the king. It's just not. Good, great knife. Great knife. Do I recommend this? 100%. Would I say go buy this knife? Will it do you well? 100%. Best knife on planet Earth. That is 1,000% subjective, but I will sit on that. I will stand on that to the day I die. This is a dream of a pocket knife. So there we go. Options for you folks out there that hate the pocket bricks. You are not going to wear a side sheath, and I know you're out there and I know you're watching. Those are all well and good, HT. I'm never going to carry something like that because they are too darn heavy. They're not for me. From your lips to God's ear. How about this? This is the Case Mako lightweight. We got it in camo. This is Zytel, a fancy plastic. It's a composite. Same blade, same long nail nick, same dimensions. Actually a little thicker in hand than the OG, which I actually like. Go figure, I like the thickness of this. Actually even better ergos, and since I got the scale here, this guy was 5.4, remember? 2.6, light as a feather. Hate these, would never carry these, too big, not going to carry a side sheath. Could you drop this in a pocket or a slip? This is half the weight, folks, half the weight. So there's you a lightweight option. Want to get into a lockback, kind of traditional? Get you a Case Mako lightweight. And what is going in my pocket today? The buck 112. There's that hideous pocket clip that Chuck can't stand. I actually like this one. Just me, I don't have a problem with this particular clip, but this is the buck 112 Slim Pro. This is the Pro edition, has micarta. It has an upgraded blade steel S30V on here. I didn't have to put thumb studs on this. It comes with them. This is a buck 112 lightweight model, and it weighs 2.5, 2.6, 2.5, half the weight of the big brothers. Go get you one if you're into the lightweights. I'm HT. That's the show. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.